this 3 minutes before we hit the top of the hour is actually becoming one of my favorite times of the week, because I just apply a lot of oils during this time while we make sure that everyone who is choosing to be here gets online. And I'm so excited to see someone already. I am in Singapore, and most of the Singaporeans, or many of them, will be at the Revoilution Expo. So we may have fewer people today than often we do. However, I'm so excited to see some of you already online. And I hope it's been a wonderful week. I'm just utilizing this time to play with my oils and apply more. I will be applying them during the session and talking about them as always. However, it's fun to be able to apply them ahead of time, breathing them in and just allowing them to do their thing. So often I think I tend to forget, and probably many of you may forget as well, that these oils, these young living essential oils, are capable of holding our intent. And when we hold that bottle in our hands, before we apply it, really focusing on what we would choose to have it do, or just intending that whatever frequencies you need or I need at that particular moment be in this bottle and available to me. So that is something, it's a great reminder for me as well as for you. So I'm going to utilize this time to intend that the frequencies that are required for me to give a message to each of you that is what is important for you. And we have reached the top of the hour, so I will actually begin again. So happy Sunday, or happy Saturday night if you're in the Western Hemisphere. I do appreciate so much all of you who are here lending your energy each week as we talk about whatever comes up. And it was not until yesterday that I actually understood what today's session would be about. Embracing change. Have any of you been experiencing a lot of change? Some of it may be expected, but a lot of it unexpected over the past weeks. I certainly have. So embracing change is all about Frances, as well as all of you who are listening today and watching. So as I began thinking, I actually came across a quote as I was reading in my guidebook that was actually written and published in 2011, the second edition in 2017. However, I wrote it down because I thought this was really important for me to understand. And we will probably have a beautiful poster that Sasha will create sometime this week. But change is inherent in evolution. If there is no change, there is no forward movement. So we're all exposing ourselves to change every single day. And how we respond to that is extremely important. Now, what I feel is the most important thing to do first is to get grounded. When we are not grounded, fear creeps in. When we are grounded and connected with the source, with our guidance, we are far stronger. And as we become more and more grounded, we can have more and more confidence in those messages that we do receive all the time. They're there. whatever we need to know is given to us. So, whatever your favorite grounding oils are, I have a number. Many of you know that I have a lot of oils here, as always. Sacred Mountain is one of my very, very favorite oils for grounding. Some of you may have other favorites. There is, of course, a blend called Grounding. That might be an exceptional one as well. The Valor. Valor will give us the courage as well as that grounding. It has the Northern Lights black spruce. Lots of wonderful, wonderful oils to support us in our process. Today I have been using Higher Unity, which I'm blessed to have, and we use it sparingly because it's not available to purchase. For us, it was a gift with purchase a few months ago, and we have to conserve it. If you have opportunity to purchase Higher Unity, you may choose to do it, as it is a wonderful way to connect with the source, your concept of the Creator, and to learn to listen more intently to the guidance that is coming from the source, your particular guidance. So, other oils you might choose to use, I began thinking for me that it's really important when change is underway to nurture myself, to have compassion. And the Idaho blue spruce, the Idaho balsam fir, if you're lucky enough to still have a bottle of that, the Northern Lights black spruce are really, really positive in energy to support you in nurturing yourself. Change is not easy. I began thinking about this, have any of you ever found that when you put a plaster on or a Band-Aid, that there are two ways to remove that Band-Aid or that plaster. You can do it very slowly, where the pain, it's not quite as intense all at one time. However, it takes a long time to get it off, and that pain is lasting as the whole time you're tugging at it. Or you can rip that plaster right off, and it's an intense pain right there, but it's over with. So what is your choice of ways to deal with change? Do you prefer to do it all at once, rapidly? Or do you prefer to have it very slowly and extend over a long period of time? Again, it's your choice. Now, I'm one of these who does not like to do things slowly. My way is get them done. When you identify something, get it done. And change, as I mentioned earlier, is inherent in evolution. So I'm old, I've got another birthday coming here in the next 10 days. So I'm really and truly, I'm ready to move forward. So I don't choose to slow down at all. And the thing that's going to help the most there is to get the fire going, that transformative fire. For those of you who use the Rainbow Healing cards, this is the 5th glyph, the breath of life that creates change. It creates that transformation. It also is the frequency that will enable you to regenerate your form, to totally move forward, that transformation, jumping into those fires as all of that stuff that is really holding you back is removed, is just allowed to fall away. Now, does this happen easily? We jump into the fire. However, we like to hold on to what we always have because that is familiar to us, and change is not familiar to us. So even if we believe that that change is going to enhance our lives, there's still a part of us that does not want to let go. And I began thinking a little bit more, and I came across a quote from John Wooden in my notes. You know how sometimes you'll pick up a book or something and you may have watched a video. This happened to be a video that he had made, and I took notes on it. And I thought, this is so intertwined with what I'm talking about today. If you get too involved in the things over which you have no control, it will adversely affect the things over which you do have control. Wow. That led me to start thinking about the fact that change and embracing change really is all about surrendering control. We don't have control over every aspect of our lives. There are a few things over which we do have control, but many are not in our control. And we don't even know, we don't see that big picture. So who are we to understand why change is necessarily happening? So I started looking. I figured if I'm going to surrender, I knew there's a blend. And guess what? I had a hard time finding my bottle of surrender. I finally found one bottle. I'm ordering more. And I'm going to use it today and intend, as I apply this oil and hold this bottle in my hands, that whatever is required, whatever energies, frequencies are required, be in this bottle so that I can allow that surrendering process to take place. And you know something? The first time that I put the surrender on yesterday, I thought, ooh, I don't like the smell. Well, you know what that means. It means we probably need it. Now, and if we really don't like the aroma, we likely really need it. So I loved when Gary used to say that, and it always brought it right to the forefront, because surrendering is not easy for many of us. That letting go of the control of the things over which we really don't have any control, and just surrendering to the process. I also selected humility, because this may require us to be a little more humble and understanding that we do not know everything, that we have to allow some of these things to unfold. So humility, I still always laugh when I remember Gary talking about humility, that Mary had told him that he really needed to use some of this humility blend. And he said, me? And I know sometimes I feel that way too. Oh, I know it. I don't need to use humility. Well, there is never a time that humility is not a requirement in our lives and in our interactions with others. So I also chose acceptance. Acceptance. Again, this is part of that accepting those things that you can change and doing something about them and allowing the others to just unfold. Am I making any sense or speaking to anyone in particular? I feel that this has been huge for me this week, and I just feel like that it really and truly is important for my focus, and I hope that it's important for the focus of others. Now, to keep that fire going, which for me is very important because naturally I inherently kind of want to stop that change from happening. When it's one thing on top of another, it's like, let's stop the world and get off for a moment. So the orange essential oil, or if you happen to have Light the Fire, that might be a great oil to use. This energy of orange essential oil does anchor the breath of life, which is that frequency of activating change, that transformative fire. As we know, fire can destroy. Fire can also transform in a positive way by burning away the things that are no longer serving you, while re-energizing, renewing those things that are part of who you are and who you are required to be at this particular moment. That change that is constantly changing. So, nurture yourself. Make sure that you are really nurturing yourself so that as these changes come, it is easier and easier and more exciting. And as we are humble and accepting and remaining grounded so that we are fully connected with the source and listening to the guidance, trusting that guidance, then the change will move in and take over, and the greater thing on the other side of that change will be available to you. So, as we move through this week, I would challenge each of you to really pay attention to whether you are fully grounded, when you're becoming ungrounded, how you feel, the differences. I have found those of you who are using your journaling, who are part of the New Life Challenge, know that you have been journaling every day and writing down things which we forget. And as we journal, as we are writing, many times we will learn things about ourselves that we will not learn if we're only thinking. Because when we get beyond this and begin writing from the heart, so much more comes out. And as we go back and review this, which is part of the New Life Challenge for those of you who are choosing to send us your stories, this will be your guide in what really has occurred over your transformative process, your refinement process. And it doesn't stop with 30 consecutive days. This is a lifelong, a New Life Challenge, truly. However, we are growing actively, refining ourselves daily. Every moment we are redefining ourselves. So as we redefine and refine, polish off all of those edges, let us have a new understanding of embracing the changes and allowing that control to just dissipate, trusting in that guidance that whatever we need at any moment will be available to us. I look forward to talking with each of you next week and hearing from you, and thank you for being here. Have a beautiful week of change, of positive changes that are exciting and comfortable. Love you. See you next week.